I'm almost at a loss. I'm absolutely blown away. I did explain to you all yesterday that I expected to see volatility in this market today, but wow, and I mean like beyond. And I want to put a perspective on this because people, if you follow my blog, I've explained to you a lot of things, and I'm going to tell you right here and right now that we just watched an extreme shift with regard to the dynamics that are driving this market. It's a whole new ball game today in many respects, and we really need to put this together here. So stocks got walloped today. Dow fell over 600 points. All the major indices got blasted. I don't know another way to put it. Again, the action was in the bond market. The entire curve dropping, the 2 to 10 inverted again. I mean, look, round after round of bad economic news here, and the lies about the unemployment numbers, the U3. They won't tell you anything else. Look, we're in free fall, and it would take almost nothing to pop the bubble. I mean, you know, I would imagine that even those of you that are in the absolutely lost camp, you know, those that must comply to suggestion, you know exactly who you are, or we know who you are, cannot deny that we are in an environment of epic distortions. Nothing like this in the face of the financial markets ever in history. It's never happened before. We watched a big, fat, ugly bubble more than double. So what does that mean for these markets? What does it mean for the debt market that is being fueled by world leaders? There's central banks that are all playing the same game, sucking us all down the vortex of debt. And we're supposed to believe that by adding more debt to a crisis, this is a debt crisis being reflected in the debt market. Pretty easy, right? We're supposed to believe that adding more debt to that is going to help the problem. Anyone who thinks that will help, honestly, is not just stuck in that camp that of those that must comply. Let's call them who they are. They are the zombies. They are the living dead, brain dead. They walk through time and space with no direction other than what they're being told. And they follow it. They must follow orders, or they must latch on to something because they have to believe. So there's no possible way that fueling this crisis with more debt can possibly help. Meanwhile, the cries are getting louder and louder. You know, let's talk about the cries getting louder and louder. Let's talk about how this market began the day and ended the day. So this morning, stocks opened lower. Right before Fed Yellowstone emerged from being deep inside Jackson's Hole, when he emerged from there, he didn't say anything, like I outlined in the video this morning, that would make you think there was anything really different with regard to this market. And the market is already pricing in a series of rate cuts, like I explained to you. It's already pricing in quantitative easing. Been hearing it from the president for the longest time. So after Yellowstone spoke today, the market was going up. Then all of a sudden, look, I don't know another way to put it, and I'm going to urge you to look at this yourself, at Real Donald Trump. And it got coverage on every single news outlet, even the financial channels, all the ones that support him. They were calling this a rampage. I did steal their word in a tweet I put out earlier. It was a tweet storm rampage, completely unhinged from hell. And that's what destroyed this market today. It was a wrecking ball. President Trump's tweet storm today really rattled the confidence of this market. People, let me explain this to you. And I've said it a million times. Earnings do not matter in this environment. PE ratios do not matter in this environment. Forward guidance does not matter in this environment at all. All the market is counting on is more easy money, rate cuts, the promise that the market will continue to function. This is it. Markets around the world operate on one thing, and one thing only. Let this get through your head, because if you take away one thing from this video, that's what it should be. The markets run on confidence. The fact that the president's rampage today, off the Richter scale on his Twitter feed, was able and enabled the market to peel off like this if it was going higher, that should say something to you. It was a vote of no confidence. No confidence in the president's ability to lead or to get us through what's coming here. Look, you can't have an unhinged individual sitting in the White House. Let me explain this to you again. I'm a trader. You all know that. I follow these markets upside down, backwards, and sideways. I have to follow the political spectrum. I'm talking about every aspect of everything you can think about, or I lose money. And the thing I hate to do is lose money. That's the truth. And I have to be pretty dead on with my information because I have a very large following worldwide. I'm doing something right, even though the zombies don't see it that way, and that's okay too. They can't be helped. They can't help themselves. They have to listen and be told what to do. You know that. So I want you to take away something here again. Understand this. Market meltdowns, market crashes, especially in the environment we are in. I'm not saying we're crashing right now, but I want to talk more about that too, because the dynamics have changed. These kinds of events that lead to dramatic sell-offs come from the most obscure things. And mostly they take people by surprise because everyone's looking in one spot. And that's where they expect it to come from. But generally that's not what happens. In fact, 99 times out of 100, that's not the way it happens. I'm telling you this right now because we witnessed it today. The president's absolute unhinged, off the Richter scale tweet storm from hell today was enough to bleed this market like it did. Caused the yield curve to invert again. All kinds of havoc being wreaked across the spectrum. The president's ability to affect the markets is dramatic, as you can see what happened today. The president can tweet us all into a market and economic disaster, a wrecking ball, simply from a sitting president of the United States who has enormous power in this market. What he says matters. What he tweets matters. So the president himself can become his own wrecking ball, because his only claim to fame, has the president done things for our country? Absolutely he has. That's his job, okay? I always give credit where credit's due. But the fact that he has enabled a stock market bubble to go from a big, fat, ugly bubble to what we have here, there's no name for this. And continue to prop this up while trying to win a trade war is frankly a mockery and literally shows you how the brain is not working anymore. And you can see this again. Look. He's unhinged. Don't take my word for this, and I know most of you won't. The Trump supporters, you're going to ignore it. You have no choice because you have to comply. I understand that. But if you had even a few functioning brain cells, you would go look over his Twitter feed. And it's not just me. It's the mainstream financial channels. It's Fox Business. It's Fox News. All the ones that support the guy. And the market today voted no confidence. A wrecking ball. The president can be his own downfall. Has nothing to do with the Federal Reserve. Nothing at all. And all he's enabled the Fed to do is issue more debt, which is their end goal. Now, let's move forward a little bit here. The president today literally said President Xi of China was his enemy. The market did not like that. Although Larry Kudlow said we are not in a trade war. People, look, I don't know what to say. If this is not a trade war today, then I don't know what is. I mean, the President of the United States is calling President Xi his enemy. And the Chinese news outlets are up in arms over this. I think this was a very bad strategic move to calling out the second largest economy on the planet like this. It's going to backfire, just like the manufacturing sector, which we watched yesterday, fall into contraction for the first time in a decade. President wanted to bring back jobs here. Manufacturing jobs not working. However, I want to clarify something, and actually, to the president's credit, something is being misrepresented here, and I want to clear it up. The president did not order. Okay, this is being covered on the financial channels. He is not ordering American companies to leave China. It's not true. The president is suggesting they find alternatives. So look, I want to clarify this spin. I try to give it to you straight and true. All right? I give the president credit where credit is due. That's the truth. So I want to clarify that. The president did not say he is ordering companies to leave China. He can't order that anyway. It just cannot be done. He suggested that companies find alternatives. So to the president's credit, trolls, I'm backing the president up on this one. Okay? Let me cover a few more things while we're on the China trade war. We need to win this. We needed to win this, although I do not see a way out yet at this point. The President of the United States has some very, 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 very demented people around him. Larry Kudlow being one of them. Peter Navarro, another one. The President's initial plan to win this trade war would have worked. He laid out a very, in my view, concise plan. What he wanted to do, how he was going to do it, and how he was going to implement it, but he chose not to do that. The president chose instead to try to keep the stock market propped up. You cannot win a trade war, and this is what it is, without having casualties. The stock market needed to take a hit. If he would have allowed, months and months ago, the stock market to take a hit, even 20%, 25% hit, we would have won the trade war, and I can promise you, we would have been where we are now, maybe even higher, because we would have won the trade war. I actually reached out to the President of the United States, and you know I did, because I explained it to you on this video blog, how the President could have won the trade war, what he could have done. I reached out to the President to explain to him, Mr. President, the stock market is going to take a hit anyway. Do it now, win the trade war, and then we'll be able to get out of it. But look, I got ignored. Look, I'm Greg Nobody. I'm nobody. I have a little bit of a voice out here on YouTube, but that's it. The president doesn't know me from anybody. I know that. And I really hope that maybe, I know some of you even wrote to the president, hey, listen to this guy Greg, he has a good plan. The president chose the wrong avenue here, and you can see how it's playing out here on multiple levels. And the fact of the matter is, and I know a lot of you don't want to hear this, and I'm not happy about this. The president might have just lost the election. Understand, I don't want to see anybody fail. I have said repeatedly on this blog, and I know that thousands and thousands of you can verify this, that I want everyone to succeed. I wanted the president to succeed. I want the United States to succeed. I want us all to succeed. That's why I'm out here. Do you really believe I need to do this? Do you really believe that? I can promise you, I don't need to put out another video for the rest of my entire life. And I'll have more time for myself, more time for my family, more time for my dogs, more time to do whatever the heck I want. But I take my time out to do this video blog because I think, or I'd like to believe, that I'm making a difference in people's lives. Okay? And I don't sugarcoat anything. I let you know exactly what's on my mind. And I'm happy to be here. I really am. But trust me on this. I do not need to do this at all. I could stop today. This could be the last video I ever do. And I'll have a better life. I'll miss a lot of you, but I'll be able to enjoy my life a little bit more. There is going to come a time, I don't know when I do stop doing this. But for now, I think it's important, and I really do want to help out. Anyway, let's move forward here. Currency wars. I've explained this to you for a while now, that this is going to be a new phase here. We're in a race to the bottom on multiple fronts, okay? I don't believe we have seen anything yet with regarding a debt expansion cycle that is going to blow people's minds. A series of rate cuts is coming, and Siri, this thing is listening to you, isn't it? A massive amount of stimulus in the form of quantitative easing is coming here to the United States. It's coming around the world. Global synchronized easing, okay? Currencies are going to be devalued. And we had a warning from the IMF just recently who said you can't devalue your currency out of an economic issue. And that's what we have here. We're in economic freefall. And I can promise you, had our president, even now, right now the president has nothing to lose. I'll be honest with you. I think he has the potential to lose the election because the lies are becoming real. People are understanding that. The market voted no confidence today. It's a wrecking ball. His tweet tirade, a rampage is a wrecking ball. It wrecked the markets today, and it literally has the potential to destroy the U.S. economy and destroy the markets because of one thing: confidence. Lack of confidence in this market. It should be very clear to you. That's the only thing that drives this market. When you have such a powerful man who can tweet his way into whatever he wants to the markets to do, for the most part, up till today, that says a lot to me. Anyway, going back to the currency war. We're going to enter a currency war. It's coming pretty soon. It's already going on. It started with China. There's going to be a lot of preparation here, a lot of legwork before it actually gets going. And who's going to pay for it? You are. Currency wars are not going to help you. They're not going to help the middle class at all. But you're going to hear this more than likely, that currency wars are easy to win. That is the death knell. Understand that, because as you can obviously see, trade wars are not easy to win. Although, again, the president's initial plan would have worked. Mr. President, I am so disappointed that you did not implement your initial plan, because we would be out of this right now. Yes, sure. The stock market would have taken a hit, but are you witnessing this now? Are you watching the yield curve, Mr. President? Do you understand that manufacturing is contracted for the first time in a decade? Do you see what's going on, Mr. President? The homeless population boom in the United States is everywhere, right here where I live too. We're not in an economic boom, Mr. President, and the market's starting to realize that, and people themselves are starting to realize it. Come clean now, Mr. President. Get on the freaking level, okay? Admit the truth to people, and we can maybe can still pull out of this. But don't engage any further in this debt expansion cycle. And there are many people that believe we can still, in fact, I had a little argument today with a guy on Twitter, that we can somehow inflate the debt to such a degree that we can grow out. We can't grow out of it. We're done. We're in a crisis here. And fueling it with more debt is only going to make it much, much worse. I don't know another way to put that. And I can't understand how there's some people out here who don't get it. They don't get it. They don't see it. There are some YouTube blogs who are pushing that narrative, that we need, that because the Federal Reserve is not dramatically lowering rates right now and issuing more QE today, that all of a sudden it's going to save us all. Are you kidding me? No, it won't do that. I promise you that if the federal funds rate were lowered 5% right here, sure, we would get a slight normalization. We get a normalization to the curve. Rates would go negative. But the longer end of the curve would drop down. Then what do we do? Drop another 5%? Do you see how it would work? Seesaw, 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 all the way down. Can't help. Can't work. And the fact that we are going to get a series of rate cuts, the fact that we are going to get more quantitative easing, dollar devaluation, and a currency war, which is only going to hurt you. And look, please do your own homework on this. Look up currency wars that have occurred in the past. You let me know how easy they are to win. This is something we've heard before. But if the President of the United States utters those words, mark my words right here, right now, write it down on it and check. We all lose. We all lose. Currency wars are not easy to win. Trade wars are not easy to win. Nothing is easy in life. I can promise you that. You got to work for every damn thing. If you don't get that right now, you're in a lot of trouble. Socialism isn't going to work, although we do subsidize everything here in the United States already, including big pharma, including big oil. I mean, bailouts are in full swing with regard to the farmers here. So if you do not believe that this is already a form of, whatever you want to call it, this is not a democracy. This is, this is socialism already, and you think it's going to matter who sits in that pretty White House, then you're completely lost. And there are some extremely deluded, and I mean almost to the point of becoming unhinged themselves, YouTube blogs out here that believe it does matter. Doesn't matter. If history has taught us a damn thing, is that whoever sits in that pretty White House doesn't matter. It's the banks that are running the show. It's the banks that are running the central banks that are running the show. And it's the same banks that run them all. Hundreds of central banks around the world. You realize that, right? So let's summarize real quick. I know this is getting kind of long-winded here, but I think I covered some very important topics. A wrecking ball. The president swung a wrecking ball at this market today by a rampage tweet storm that was unhinged. He does have the potential to bring down the entire economy in the markets with an unhinged tweet storm. Something's going on here with the president, and I am very concerned. I really am. I do not want to see anyone hurt in any way. Something is wrong with the President of the United States. I really believe he has something issue going on here. He's under an enormous amount of pressure. I got that. Pressure can get to even the most stable individual, okay? I practiced medicine for 20 years. I cannot tell you the things I saw clinically. Very stable people that do the most incredible things because pressure becomes too much. I got that. I sincerely believe that the president is under too much pressure right now. And he's having a very difficult time handling it. It's being reflected in his behavior. The unbelievable intense amounts of flip-flopping lately is all part of it. I think the writing is on the wall here. And we should all, I don't care where you stand here, we should all be concerned for another human being, okay, that is in trouble. And I believe, in my professional medical opinion, that the president is suffering from a stress disorder right now. And it's being reflected on what we see his actions, what he's doing today. I think we should all be concerned. I am concerned for the president of the United States. And I still want the man to succeed. I still want the United States to succeed. I want you to succeed. I want us all to succeed above all. Look, I'm going to let you all go here. Please, I'm going to ask you from the heart. This guy does love you. You know that. Share this video. Get it out as far and wide as you possibly can, and maybe it'll make it to the president. I think he does need help, professional help. And I'm not saying that this is a bad thing. Look, we all fall through this. Could you imagine the stress of being the president of the United States? Could you imagine the stress of watching the economy fall the way it is? Meanwhile, he's been telling everyone that we're so strong. That has to be weighing on this guy. There's no doubt about it. We should honestly hope that maybe he starts telling the truth, but I don't think he can about it anymore. But I want him to do well. I want the president to maybe take a week off. I'll be honest with you. Go take a couple of weeks off. Relax a little bit. This stuff is seriously getting to you. And, I mean, by calling President Xi the enemy, that was wrong today, Mr. President. You've been calling him a good man and a friend for a long time. This is part of it. The tweet storms are part of it. It's a terrible thing to see a human being, anybody, I don't care who they are, even a freaking serial killer. I don't want to see, I'm not saying I like serial killers here, but I don't want to see anyone decompensate. What we're witnessing here, the medical term for this is decompensate. We're watching him decompensate. And again, my professional medical opinion is he is decompensating. And I don't like to see this at all. It actually bothers me to see. All right, look, I'm going to let you all go. Please share this video. Get it out there. I love all of you. People, let's put this week behind us. Honestly, let's look forward here. We need each other. I cannot stress that enough to you. All right, maybe we're going to go off a little more here. Without each other, we are nothing. Divided, that's what they want. We need to come together, all of us here. We got to stop the division. I've been explaining this to you for the longest time. All right, here we go. People, love each other. Legitimately care about each other. I want you to care about the President of the United States and what's happening to him now. He's decompensating. This is not good. Be charitable, people. These three things: love each other, care about each other, be charitable. It's really the core of everything. It's the core of my belief system. It really is. And do I go off the deep end on people? Do I call people out? Sure I do. That doesn't mean that I don't love them either. Okay? I even love the President of the United States. I really do. I don't hate a damn anybody. I don't hate a damn thing, period. I really don't. Anyway. I'll see you all sometime during the weekend, not sure when. I'll do my markets to look ahead for you. I am going to sign out. I'll see you.